Hi, welcome back. Today I am not going to do what I originally planned. I was thinking that I was going to do another summer makeup look, but I'm actually in the mood for something a little bit more dramatic. So that's what's going to happen. I have some products that I haven't played with yet on camera, and in some cases not at all. I kept telling myself that I was going to practice, but that didn't happen, so I'm going to just learn as I go, and that will be fine. If you're new here, then welcome. I'm Audrey. I review makeup, I talk about skincare and dealing with rosacea, and also like to just play with the makeup and see what kind of look I can create, see how different products work together, and explore how that lets us present the self that we want to be in the world, which is very relevant today. I'd love to have you subscribe. What I want to do today has a couple of different sources of inspiration. One of them is that it's Pride Month in many places at the moment here in June. And we're doing it at a time when there's a lot of really terrible things happening in the world. It's not a moment that feels very celebratory, both in terms of just the global violence, the genocide, but also closer to home we have the criminalization of reproductive health care. We have the concerted efforts to remove any kind of queer expression from public life, to similarly too with reproductive health care to really eliminate access to trans healthcare as well. And it doesn't create a very festive environment in that respect. But I was watching Hannah Louise Poston did a few videos a while back about how to look amazing when you feel awful. And they're fun. You should go look those up if you haven't seen them. But it had me thinking about how part of what we do with Pride is really coming from a place of defiance. It's about taking up space in a world that sometimes doesn't want to see you, right? Doesn't want to let you be yourself, to express, to express who you are in your community, right? It's a place that, it's something that really comes in opposition. I'm laminating my brows, and I'm actually starting with this because I'm going to blank them out. And this brow laminating gel from e.l.f. is a really good way to do that. So the vibe that I'm going for is, it's that sense that we use all of the glitz and glamour of Pride really to connect with each other and to take up space and to share a culture, with so much emphasis on aesthetics in our modern society. I think folks can forget that queer aesthetics are a culture. They're not just about, or they're not only about how we look. It's also an expression of being willing to screw around with gender, not being held to a very narrow interpretation of gender and relationships and what is acceptable, and all of those kinds of constraints. It's really an invitation to do something else and have fun with it. And I just think that that is something that we really need right now, whether or not you're queer. I hope that there's something that you can feel inspired by. So now that I've got my brows glued down, I'm taking, this is the Best Case Concealer from Salt New York, and I have it in the shade N13. I'm going to basically just lightly paint over where my brows are. Now, I haven't done this in years, so we'll see if I remember what I'm doing. And just smudge it on. It's funny to me too, there's all of these ways that queer aesthetics are like percolating through the mainstream, and shaved eyebrows is one of them. You know, it's a drag queen thing because it allows you to put your eyebrows anywhere you want and to create kind of any effect that you want. It's funny, normally I'm like, my brows just are, they're so pale, they don't show up. And now I'm finding that they don't want to be covered up. Which is entertaining. Well, maybe this will be a start, and then it's definitely helping glue them down. So maybe I can go in with something else on top of it in a little bit. But there we go. Kind of off to a strange start. But I wanted to do this before I put on foundation, just to try to make everything blend in a little bit better. So for foundation, I have the About Face in the lighter shade that I have, which is Fair One Neutral. And because it's a little bit lighter, I'm hoping that it helps give me a higher contrast look to really show off the other color that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to go dab it on my cheek like so. Blend it in. If I was doing full drag, I would definitely be looking for something higher coverage. But it's called today casual drag. And then I suppose a practice run, because if I like the overall effect, then, you know, I'll do more. And I've really come to appreciate how this foundation has that very light but buildable kind of coverage. It just makes it really versatile for a lot of different kinds of effects. Oh, today's SPF is the the unseen sunscreen from Supergoop. I thought something with a slightly matte or smoothing finish would probably be the best base to do things with. That's an okay amount of coverage for right now. Let's take a little bit of the concealer that's still on my brush here and just add a little bit of coverage under my eyes. What am I going to do about my brows? Let's just see if I can get a little bit more coverage by applying it by hand. Then I'll have to blend it out again. It's funny, this is actually, I thought this would be like the easy step. But no. Well, that's okay. I'll just keep whatever I want to do closer to the existing brow line. Maybe fill in over the top of it. I'll probably want to add a little bit more concealer, but I'm going to wait until I have finished with other eye makeup so that if I need to use it to clean up, I can do that pretty easily. So here's the exciting new thing that I've been holding on to. I have one of the holographic eye paints from About Face. And it's this really cool, like purple, pink, purple, green sort of color. I've swatched it a little bit just to get a feel for the formula and how it works. And so I'm hoping what I can do is paint some on and then blend it out. And we'll see how that goes. My eye makeup brushes all seem to have gotten a little dusty in between when I last used them and now. And I think everything in terms of eye brushes, I think what I have is a set from e.l.f., a set from Eco Tools, and then a random one from Makeup Forever. Alright, hopefully that is clean enough that I can work with these. So what I'm thinking I can do is dab a little bit here on the outer edge. I don't want to put it below the crease, you know, because I have hooded eyes. We just won't get as much of an interesting effect from that. This goes on really, really smoothly. Maybe just draw a little bit more like that. And then I'll use this blending brush to try to blend the upper edge of it into the brow line. Then out just a little bit. And now we'll see if I can replicate anything similar on the other side. Where did that start? Up here. This has a really, really nice fluid texture to it. It just feels really forgiving in terms of how you put it on. I don't know if anything like this could ever be like fully considered beginner friendly, but for someone who hasn't been doing eye makeup very regularly and like I don't even know how long, it's not bad. I think just a tiny bit more. Nice. And then to go with it, I have a couple of the, also from About Face, they're Shadowsticks. So I have one in this kind of, I have one in this nice creamy champagne kind of color. Pretty much just blends in on my skin. But it would give me a little bit of gloss as an eyeshadow. And then I also got this sort of greenish black. And it has a bit of a bit of a nice sheen to it. So I am going to give this a shot in terms of a little bit of eyeliner, essentially. So again, with my particular eyes, everything that's sort of below the fold is all gonna get smeared together, so I don't have to be too delicate. This is like the perfect look for taking the trash out, which is like as much excitement as my day has ahead of me. And then I'll use that same blending brush to just kind of smear it around. Blend it up into the edge of the eye paint. I think I can add a little bit more here. Then I'll do the other side. Blend that. I'm deliberately not bringing anything all the way into the inner corner here. I think that'll do for right now. I might add or touch up a little bit before I finish. I think it would be good to brighten the under eye area up a little bit, so I'm going to use the Jones Road pencil. I have this in the shade 1. And I will just add a little bit here. And I think just use my finger to blend it in. Carefully, not smearing the eyeshadow around. A lot of people will line the waterline for this kind of look, but I know just personally my eyes are not going to tolerate that kind of thing, so there will just be a little pink around there, and that's fine. I think I'd better go ahead and just see what I can do with my brows next, because that's really going to set the shape and the contrast for everything else. So this is the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in Neutral Brown. I think I'll start by drawing right here at the top. See if I can create kind of a wedge shape on top of this. Just adds a little bit more drama to the whole thing. And then, again, try to do something roughly the same way on the other side. The natural tail of my brow is a little bit different on this side to begin with. See if I can blend that in. Good enough. And now I'm really feeling it. Adding that feels like the point of no return. I'm not going to be able to turn it back into an everyday look from this point. For contour, I have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand, Contour Wand. This is another one that I picked up and I haven't tried yet. I have it in Fair Light and I'll give this a little swatch too. It's a fairly light, not a fully neutral tan, but I'm hoping that that might be close enough to work with though. And I'm going to take a chance and apply it directly on. So I know that I want to kind of emphasize the hollow underneath my cheekbone here. So like I can feel for where that's going to be. Just dot a little bit on. And then use my blending brush to work that in. I think I could go for a little bit more here. Just to add that illusion of a sharply defined cheekbone. Another way that you could look at the placement is just to draw a line from the top of your ear here to the corner of your mouth. And that diagonal is, on most people, about where you want it to be. For symmetry, I need a little bit more. Might be too much. It's okay. And then I can clean it up a little bit on the bottom edge just by going back in with my foundation sponge. You'll see people using concealer to contour too, for a similar kind of reason. And then I will do my forehead. And this is working fine. I think for precision, I prefer something like the Rare Beauty stick bronzer. This, I have it in the shade Bright Side, which is also pretty cool leaning. But given the option, I'd rather draw directly on rather than have that squishy applicator tip. Just a little bit of definition there, and then I'll do my jawline. I think I can come up a little bit more even. So we're going for the illusion today. Not the straightest line. Oh well. And then I'm just keeping my brush down on the bottom edge of where I want that color to be. And I can blend down a little bit more. Alright, just a little bit of contour, nothing too heavy or dramatic. I feel like I'm tempted to do a little bit more on my cheeks though. But I think this is working close enough. This is so unlike my usual look, and I'm just absolutely loving that. So we have the drama of the eyes, and don't worry, I will put mascara on. I have, because I know that that will absolutely heighten the drama of the eye look. But, you know, we have a base, we have a little bit of light contouring, just enough to help shape the face and give it more of that defined appearance that really allows the eyes to pop, you know. It's about both applying the look in terms of this focal area and also giving it kind of the surrounding background that makes it look like it's supposed to be there instead of, you know, like I did my eye makeup and went in a different direction afterward. Those things need to kind of be in conversation with each other. So given that, I'm not sure if I should do blush or not. I grabbed the About Face Cheek Freak in Laid that I've used before. It's this kind of strawberry pink, and I feel like potentially it could add just a little bit more definition, but since I'm not wearing a high coverage foundation and I do have some of that flushed, my natural color coming through, I feel like I should just go ahead and lean on that and not add anything on top of it. So that's what I'm going to do. In that case, I just need to pick a direction for my lips and do the mascara. And I think I'll also add a little bit of an inner corner highlight with something before the end. So I grabbed two lip products that I thought might work for this. One of them is the NYX Fat Oil Slick Click in Main Character, which is a nice, just sparkly base. But then I also have the NYX Butter Gloss in Black. And I'm going to at least try it on so that I can show you, because if you ever want to dabble with like a black lipstick kind of look, this is a really great option because you can put it on full color or blot it out, and both are a fun look. It feels a little incongruous to have that butter gloss kind of like, you know, vanilla-ish flavor with something that looks glossy black. Honestly, this right here, that's that's a look if I want to do it. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be the longest lasting color when it comes to a black lipstick kind of product, but what that means is that you can also blot it down and get another look as an option. Let me just clean up this edge, though. Nice and moody vibe. But then if I blot it, I get a little bit more of this darker smudged effect. And I think I could even put a little bit on top if I wanted. But just enough to leave like a black stain. So that, or let's blot it one more time. And then put the Slick Click over the top of it. I'm gonna have to get the extra sort of black gloss off of this later. Then touch up a little bit on the edges. And I think that really helps emphasize the holographic glitter that's in the Slick Click lip balm. Gives it a nice base. So yeah, that's what I want today. I think it corresponds really nicely with the eye paint. which I considered actually trying as a lip product. I feel like in terms of texture, it might be nice, but I don't know if it would be long wearing enough or start to kind of crack and flake. That can be a further experiment too. All right, and I will finish up with the mascara. I have a mini of the e.l.f. Big Mood, which should give me some nice thick lashes if it lives up to the promise. Has this nice bushy kind of wand. I have, because I have such fine wispy lashes, it takes a little bit of effort to, you know, get that kind of big false lash effect. If anything's gonna deliver though, I feel like something with this many bristles has gotta. Let's let that dry a minute and do the other side, and then I'll probably add a couple more coats. I managed to get mascara on my contact lens, which I don't recommend. It was kind of a weird experience. And I think I actually managed to deal with it without smearing things all over the place, which is impressive. Hopefully my eye doesn't get too irritated from that. But it's good that I was almost finished when it happened. So I think let's just wrap up. Today was really a good opportunity to remind myself that it's important, even when everything around us is really heartbreaking, to still leave room to be creative and find fun in self-expression and all of those things that really are the other part of our experience as a human. That beauty can be a kind of self-care, and self-care is an act that helps us persevere. And those are just really important things for me to stay grounded in. It also, I think it also helps me remember that part of what I love about being queer is the connection to our history and our experience in the community and the ways that we have expressed ourselves in order to reflect that. And so this is something I want to do more of, you know, just to play with it, try it on, experience it, you know, do things that maybe do the things that a part of me thinks, but oh, you know, in your 20s, in your youth, these are things that you already did that. You already played around with that. Like, you know, maybe you're never too old to wear holographic eye paint. And that's something that I feel like I really needed today. So in terms of the products that are new that I haven't reviewed on the channel before, I think I have, let's see, the eye products. We'll skip, Butter Gloss. I've talked about it a bunch. I like Butter Gloss. I think if you haven't checked it out yet, you're missing out. Mostly it's eye makeup, but we have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour Wand. In my opinion, it's fine. It's a handy little container. It's probably not going to be my go-to, just because I have a number of other options, including the Rare Beauty stick bronzer, including multiple kinds of liquid bronzer and things. And there's a lot of different ways in terms of application technique that I can make use of that to get similar results. But this is a nice cheap little option, and I'm sure that I'll manage to use it up. The About Face holographic eye paints are phenomenal. It's a really great, easy formula. I didn't feel like it was a lot of effort to get it in the right place. It blended on the edge the way that I wanted it to. And I think because it is because it does have those nice blending capabilities. Even if you don't have the most precise application, you can just, you know, blend it into the upper eye area and nobody will know the difference. You know, and if I hadn't been happy with that line there, I could have used concealer or you know, something else like that to clean up and get myself a sharper edge. But I really didn't feel like I needed to. It just painted, the shape of the applicator, I think, helps with giving you a little bit of you know, a surface to draw a short line like that without having to actually paint it on accurately. And that's a nice feature for this too. Given the opportunity, I might pick up another color. I'm not sure about the Shadowstick yet. I'm going to have to play around with it more. It felt like I needed to put on a couple of layers to get the color that I was looking for, as compared to this very durable swatch on my hand. Yeah, I washed my hands like twice since I did this. And it's still there. So I'll try it and I'll compare it with the other color that I have and report back in the future. And as for the mascara, the e.l.f. Big Mood, I love the font here, just nice bold letters. This is the kind of mascara that I really need for my lashes to start to get anything other than that like very wispy doll-like impact. And even here, it's not nearly as heavy of a lash look as I think I might go for. If I hadn't had the mascara in the eye issue, I might have put a little bit more on, like even one more coat. I think I still have some smudge under my eye here. Just to continue to build it up. But this isn't a bad starting point at all, and it's definitely enough to complete the look. So I'm sure when I play around with it more, I can get it to give me that full volume that I would like. My feeling is if you're going to wear mascara, then really go for it. And I think that's it. I'm just really happy with this. It was a lot of fun, and I hope it inspires you to do something with your makeup that maybe feels a little silly, a little out there, a little, you know, too young for your age, whatever. You know, get creative with it. Go do something that maybe isn't really the look that you would put on to take the trash out and do chores. But you know, what other time is there? Like, I really think that it's good to bring that kind of joy into your regular day, as well as, and not just save it for the special events. So with that, I'll just remind you again to subscribe if you haven't yet. I am sure that there will be other creative makeup play in the future, in addition to my usual reviews. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye!